aggressive. I'm so scared of popping champagne because, like, just because it's a aggressive action, and I'm not very strong, and I would probably fuck it up.
Well, you told me the one story of why you're so scared.
This guy from this MTV show, my mom and I really like. We watched The Challenge. Yeah, that's good. He was at a New Year's Eve party, and somebody popped a champagne cork, and it flew across the room, hit him in the eye, split his eyeball in half, and then I think he's probably blind in that eye now, but he had to like get reconstructive eyeball surgery and like wear an eye patch and shit. And so now every time somebody pops a champagne cork, I'm like, that is going straight into my eye socket. So I was like
run away, like turn the other direction.
I was covering it with like 50 like hand towels because I'm like, okay, gotta weigh it down. we just popped champagne to celebrate.
We hit 10,000 downloads.
What the hell? Why are 10,000 of you listening to us? That's crazy, but
genuinely insane.
Thank you. This is amazing. So we're having mimosas. It's almost 11 a.m. on a fucking Sunday, and if that's not the good time for a mimosa, I don't know what is.
No, this is really ideal. Especially coming after the night we had watching Carol.
Yeah, right.
Where we drank an aggressive amount of wine.
I know, we were gonna make Manhattans, but then
too much.
I was at the liquor store, and rye whiskey's fucking expensive.
Which also, I don't want to drink rye.
Yeah, I don't know if they so much mention it in the movie, but definitely in the book, Carol is always drinking rye, and Therese is like, rye makes you sad. I'm like, I think she's sad because she's losing custody of her child. I doubt it's the rye, but they also drink martinis a lot, which we have established is
not
a hard
for us.
no.
Yeah, but we will drink a lot of wine.
Wine's classy enough for Carol. So today we're talking about Carol.
And here's the thing. I know we said we wouldn't do this.
Yeah, right. After continually bashing Carol all throughout this month, we just tried to find another woman-loving woman movie to finish Pride. We figure we would just do the most famous one.
Yeah, I feel like we should do our due diligence. You know what I mean? Like,
pay respect to the elders.
Exactly. Like you said in our portrait episode, Carol limped so that Portrait of a Lady on Fire could sprint. And that's exactly what it did. And
I like to rip into a movie that I wouldn't actually say I dislike this movie. I feel like I shit on it a lot, but then watching it, I was like, this is not so bad.
We ripped on it a lot before we started watching it, and then we started watching it and we're like, oh my god,
Carol, the gay stare. Kate Blanchett turned me gay.
It's one of those things, like, I definitely thought this was the best piece of queer cinema for a long time, just because it was the only piece of queer cinema between, like, 2016 and 2019.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
or at least,
wow.
Like, really popular, kind of, like, to that caliber of movie, for sure.
Like, Oscar-nominated type of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's the best. It's absolutely the best. And it's not.
Yeah.
But I would say you should probably watch this.
Yeah. At least just for the culture, you know?
Exactly.
At least just to compare it to other things. To compare it to Portrait, basically, as I would. I mean, if you're doing a little soiree of lesbian films, you know? If you want to see not great chemistry, watch this and then watch Portrait and be like, oh my god, after 2 days they are soulmates. But in this movie I'm like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is like, it's another one of those like 2-week romances, and this one doesn't sell me. Because we've had a couple of those where we're like, yeah, I get it, I would be in the same boat, and this is not that.
Well, it's very...
okay.
It's stiff and it's kind of heavy, but I think that has a lot to do with the time period and the context and the whole, like, divorce, losing the child. It was a very heavy situation. I don't think it's supposed to be, like, a light, fun, and happy movie. I don't think that would have been believable if it was all of a sudden this amazing, beautiful, happy romance. Like, that wasn't gonna be... Because even the book, so you lent me the book. You had read it, you said a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You lent it to me, and I read it for this episode, but also just because I was interested. I love a book-to-movie comparison. And it was pretty short, too. It's like 100 pages. It was
ideal. It's
a nice little
good
beach
quick read,
But so I was interested. And their chemistry is almost the same in the book. Very, like, their conversations are, like, really loaded and, like, high, like, contextual.
Yeah.
Like, I never could really understand the subtext of what they were saying to each other. And it was very heavy and kind of sad.
Yeah.
And so I do think this movie was a pretty good representation of their, like, they didn't have great chemistry in the book either.
Yeah. It's almost like, because we talked about this a little bit in Jennifer's Body, where it's like, when people are, like, a little mean to you and you're like, oh, I love them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that Carol's mean, it's just she's so
Serious,
reserved and serious that she doesn't...
Aloof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I think draws
And I want her to
Therese in.
stomp me.
Yeah. So should we give a recap? Because this podcast is not spoiler free, it's spoiler full.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, this, not a lot happens. It's just gay. They're just
Exactly.
gay. So, I mean, that's the spoiler, I guess. But yeah, I think a little recap would be helpful.
So pretty much it takes place in like 1950s Manhattan. You meet Therese, which is the main protagonist. And she's
Rooney Mara.
Yeah, Rooney Mara.
Bangs, little bob, her hair, amazing. That was me doing a chef's kiss.
She is the moment.
Yeah, the hair in this movie, oh my
Right.
god. When I get a bob, I picture that's what I want it to be, and then I realize that those little finger waves take hours of preparation. I
You're like,
roll
oh, this is a film.
Yeah.
They didn't just wake out of
right.
wake up and roll out of bed
the
like
100 brushes in Therese's hair to get it to lay that flat. Like my bob, I look like Johnny Depp in Willy Wonka.
Oh no.
Well, yeah, right? I look like Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified. I do not look like Therese when I get a bob. That is what I want. That's the photo I show the hairdresser.
You come out as Willy.
Yeah, I come out as Coconut Head.
So we meet Therese, who's got beautiful hair. But so Therese is working at a department store in Manhattan. Kind of hates her fucking life.
Just for the Christmas,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, just
it's
for
Christmas
Christmas,
time.
yeah.
She wears a little Santa hat. She works at the toy
Yeah.
counter. I think
Yeah.
it's implied that it's a pretty temporary job. Like she's a seasonal associate.
Exactly. So and she's dating Richard because she has to date someone, you know?
Yeah, and Richard is the stupidest oaf of a man.
Yeah.
He's just like a blank template
Yeah.
for like man.
Exactly.
No discernible personality, no discernible physical features. So I thought this was really funny. This movie has a couple of like wild cards that just kind of come out of left field, and
Carrie Brownstein.
yeah, Carrie Brownstein at the end is the big one, but so her boyfriend is played by, if you've seen The Office, in the last couple scenes of The Office, they have like a handful of new people who come in who are like a little bit younger, and they call him Plop. I forget what his name is, but he dates Erin, the what's her name? Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh yeah.
He dates her for a little bit. It's like very late in The Office. But so I was like, is that the fucking guy from The Office?
Is that Plop?
Is that Plop from The Office? And so it was like I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's just weird to see him like in period piece doing a very serious. I'm like, you're on Comedy Central.
Well, then
like,
you've got the guy that was in Orange Is the New Black playing
my God, yeah, so
Lorna's husband.
Yeah, I love
Vinny.
that. Yeah, Vinny. Therese's boyfriend
Has some friends,
and they're all kind of like artsy, and they're all kind of like
Yeah.
in this like New York City art scene. And so Therese is a photographer, but she's like doesn't really have a lot of work as a photographer. It's more of a hobby,
yeah.
but she'd like to make it a job. And so this friend is like,
He works
oh,
at like the Times.
yeah, he's like, oh, I'll check out some of your work. Like, you can come hang out. And then he does, like, surprise kiss her at one point, and she's like, that is not...
fuck away
but
from
also,
me.
like, you're friends with my boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
asshole. But so, it's, like, a very weird moment. But so he is played by... I think this guy's been in plenty of other stuff as well, but I was like, why do I know that guy in his thick Italian-American accent?
Oh my God.
And I was like, where do I know him? And from Orange Is the New Black... Lorna Morello she like has like a internet husband.
Yeah.
Like he like meets her, I don't even know, like on some like pen pals or something.
Yep.
And he comes and then they get married and then she has his baby.
Yeah, something like that.
Because they like give them conjugal visits. But he's Vinny in the and she's always like, I'm making lasagna for my Vinny.
Yeah.
And that was another one. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is just like really jarring.
Yeah. Carrie Brownstein's the one that definitely sticks out.
Oh my God, at the end, I love it.
You're just like, oh my, Carrie?
from Portlandia, and I love she's like the gay at the end.
Yeah.
You know?
She's like, oh my god, there's gays besides Carol?
The other people can give me the gay stare. This is
Alright, we're getting away from But so yeah, Therese is like living her life in New York, kind of just doing run-of-the-mill shit, and then one day this woman comes up to her counter at the department store, and it's Kate Blanchett as Carol.
Yeah, and
she's in like a
my
mink coat.
Oh my god, and she's like, I want a doll that's going to piss, shit, and fart on itself. I want it to be made of cloth, and it's for my daughter, Rindy. And Rooney Mara is like, we do not have that doll in stock.
You know what we have though?
Trains.
A train.
She's like, dolls overrated. Get her a train.
That's the
That's the first sign of lesbianism here.
I know, right?
She's like, you're a doll.
Carol's like, what did you want when you were 6 years old?
She's like,
and she's like, not a doll. I wanted a train. And she's like, okay, I picked this woman well. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she's definitely gay.
Yeah. But then Carol tactfully leaves her gloves at the counter.
She's done this many a time.
This is her
before.
pickup scheme. She's a pickup artist, and this is her plot, her scheme. And so she leaves them there on purpose. So Therese sends them back, and she's like, "Oh, I had no idea who sent."
I thought
me
it was
these-
the man in the ski department.
Yeah, no. So that basically she sets it up so that they have an excuse to hang out.
Yeah, and they like go on a little date, and then they start like they hang out like two or three
Twice,
times, and then pretty much Carol is like in the middle of a divorce with her husband who's trying
Harge.
Harge.
Tell me, what the fuck kind of name is Harge?
What does it stand for? You know what I mean?
I couldn't find when I googled Harge name. It's like, do you mean charge? And I couldn't. I don't know what Harge is short for. Like, riddle me that.
No, please enlighten us.
Hargenold? Harchard? I don't know. What kind of name is Harge and Rindy? Are you kidding me?
I think
That's some 1950s ass shit.
I don't know if we did a giveaway, but I think our giveaway for this month should be send in your best guesses for what Harge
is short
stands for.
Oh my god, yes, please. I'll put it up on our Instagram. It'll be a little question, but also if you want to just comment it on our Carol post, because that won't have a time limit, and that's a really great giveaway for this month. Guess what the fuck is Harge short for? even if it's an educated guess, if you want to do some research of history of the name Harge, I did a drunken Google search last night and came up dry, but I can't say that it was a valiant effort. Yeah, but Harge is played by what's his name?
The guy that plays
Chandler.
every cop.
Yeah, every cop in Friday Night Lights, Kyle Chandler. He's always like, the dad who's disappointed in the son. He reminds me a lot of like Alec Baldwin. He gives me like off-brand Alec Baldwin, young Alec Baldwin.
Oh, for
vibes.
sure. No, you're very on point with that.
Yeah, I feel like he maybe has never played a cop, but gives me cop vibes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he plays the husband, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. If I was a lesbian, I also would have married this oaf. Every man in this movie is stupid, oafish, no personality ass, like, lame.
And I like that. See, that's the thing, is like when we watch Portrait, there was just no men.
But at least here they're stupid.
They're here, but they're dumb.
The only man I would say who has any sort of like,
ground to stand on
is the spy.
Yeah.
He's
good at his job.
Yeah, he has a job.
Yeah.
At least we know
Yeah.
one thing about him.
Which, speaking of the spy,
So
pretty
Carol
much-
and Therese go on vacation, basically.
Yeah, they go on vacation.
They run
together.
away,
Yeah.
low-key.
Yeah. Carol's trying to escape, like, while her husband is being like, my wife's a lesbian, I want the kid.
Yeah.
And so they go away to, like, Ohio. They go west, and they go to Ohio. Waterloo.
They drive with, like, no intended destination, really. They just drive around in Carol's convertible, which is, like, really sexy and fun of them.
Yeah, right?
But also, like, it's winter. It's Christmas. Carol also spends Christmas alone with Therese.
Which, if there's one way to charge a relationship,
Yeah,
it's
right?
spending Christmas alone together. That's for sure. But so they're, like, driving around pretty much, and turns out this is right after they've had, like, sex for the first time. The next morning, they find out that there's this spy that's been following them.
And has been taping them.
He taped the entire encounter.
Imagine losing your virginity to Kate Blanchett and the whole thing was filmed. By God, What a whirlwind. What a whirlwind for Therese. She takes it like a champ, though.
Yeah, she cries a bit in the car, but that's about it, and then she just starts chain smoking.
Yeah, viciously chain smoking.
Which I would be doing the exact same thing.
The whole time.
Of course. So they continue on their little soiree for like another day or so, and then Kate Blanchett leaves in the night like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's like, was she ever really there? Yeah. And then Sarah Paulson's there.
Oh my god, yeah. Then Sarah Paulson, and she's like, I'm the ex, who's also the best friend, who's also the godmother.
Yeah. It's always an amicable split.
Yeah, right. It's like
they're always
like,
besties after.
Carol and Abby are like
Abby, who's Sarah Paulson.
They had their gay awakenings with each other, and then they just decided to be besties.
Yeah.
After, which is like the most gay thing.
They were best friends. They hooked up once, and they were like, this was fun, we're gay, but we're not going to do this together.
Yeah, but you can tell that Abby has a little bit of resentment because Carol is a charm.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to pine after?
That's true, but also, like, if I had to pick someone, Abby's given me way more to work with.
That's true. But I'm saying Abby definitely wants Carol.
Yeah.
It's very much like the got friend zoned, so she's constantly like pining. But basically, she shows up and it's like, Therese, here's the situation.
Carol's gone.
You got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Yeah. So Abby pretty much drives Therese back to Manhattan, drops her off, and then Carol's pretty much ghosted her at this point. She's trying to get her life together and pretend
that she's straight so she can have custody of her child.
Yeah. And then it comes to a head when they're in like custody court sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I really do love this line where she's like, at one point I would have done anything, but it's like, what use am I to hurt my daughter if I'm living against my own grain?
Yeah, oh my god. Everyone says the flung out of space line is
no,
the line.
No, that's the line.
That scene is like, oh my god, Oscar deserving performance of her, because she's basically like, I want custody of my daughter, but you can have her. I want visits. But I'm not gonna pretend to be somebody I'm not, to have this life, basically. Yeah. So she's basically sacrificing her family and her daughter to like be with Therese, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but at this point, Therese has kind of moved on.
It's been a hot minute. It's been like the better part of a year.
Yeah, and in the book, it's
like a year. Yeah.
But she got a new haircut. She's working at the Times. She got a whole new wardrobe. She looks great. Yeah. And so they meet up and they have dinner, and Carol's kind of like, oh, will you take me back? Oh, I don't suppose you will. And she's like, no, I won't.
Yeah. You ghosted me for a whole year.
And you can just kind of see Carol under her breath being like, fuck.
Yeah, because that was all the cards are on the table, That was the big thing she was risking it all for. And Therese says, I'm all set, thanks.
So Therese ends up they kind of leave it on this tense note, because their dinner gets interrupted, and then Therese ends up going to this party.
Where she meets Carrie Brownstein, who they do a little gay glance together. And you're like, oh, great.
She's gonna move on. She knows there's other gay people in this world.
Right, and also, she realizes that it's not just a Carol thing, it's a gay thing.
Yeah, exactly. But then, at the very last second, she goes and she leaves the party and she runs back to the place that Carol's having dinner. And as much as I kind of dislike the decision she made, the final scene where they just lock eyes intensely across the room.
Yeah, and Kate
Blanchett's got that smug little smile. She's like, I knew you'd come back to me, baby.
So good. So good.
And that's how it finishes, and that's the movie, and it's kind of left to be like, okay, they're together.
Yeah. Yeah, or at least they're gonna give it a
go.
But it's like, for a spy, for a lesbian's being hunted down by the gay police film, it's honestly not that exciting.
No. That's the thing, is we were talking about this last night, and this movie definitely comes at you for your chest, just because of how queer it is and how great of performances there are in it. But the plot is boring. The plot's super boring.
I don't really care about the characters either. I don't really care about what happens to them. Great performances.
Yeah.
Everyone looked great. Everyone did what they were supposed to do perfectly to a T. The score, phenomenal.
Oh my
the
God.
cinematography, beautiful. It's just a beautiful movie to watch. I think it was shot on 16 millimeter to give it that like kind of old
Definitely,
Hollywood look, and it's just it's a very pleasing movie.
You got
to
that
look
nice
at.
grain to it.
Yeah, the music is phenomenal.
The music's my favorite
the
part,
costumes,
probably.
the performances, it's just nice. But like when you boil it down, I just don't really care. I don't care what Therese and Carol do. I don't really care what happens to them. I don't care about this divorce or this custody battle.
Yeah.
I don't care about anyone's gay awakening with Kate Blanchett. We've all been there, you know? You're not special, Therese.
Kate Blanchett made us all realize we were gay.
Yeah. Get in line. Take a ticket.
You and every other queer. But I mean, it is because we ripped on this a lot before we were gonna do this, and we were kind of dreading watching it.
Yeah,
but
it was honestly a good time though.
We had a great time, like 2 bottles of wine and Carol, and just some of those really great that script.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That the script carried a lot of it, and the performances definitely carried a lot of it as well. But yeah, I talked about the gay stare during like the portrait episode.
Oh,
but
this movie is the gay
This
stare.
is the epitome of it.
Yeah.
When you go and you lock eyes from across the department store.
Homo? Yeah, Come on over,
like-
buy a train.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I've fully done this before. I've been there.
Well, I like, and then she does the gay stare again later with Carrie Brownstein, and you kind of get that like different context for it.
Yeah.
I remember reading the book, and I had seen the movie before, obviously, so I had an idea about how it ended. But you know, books and movies aren't always exactly the same.
This
So,
one's pretty like
so like.
script to screen though. You know what I
Say
mean?
it's 100 pages. Up until page 99, I thought Therese was gonna do the right thing and live her gay life, her best gay life without Carol. And then obviously she runs back at the very last minute. And I remember like throwing my book down, and I was like, no! I just like especially in the book too, you realize it's like this nice self-actualization moment for her.
Yeah.
Where she like, because the whole time she's really struggling with her identity and like who she is as a person, not even just her sexuality, but just like she's very lost and confused.
Yeah.
Bad at making decisions for herself.
Well, she's 19
kind
years old.
Oh yeah, so they don't really explicitly mention it in the movie, but in
She's
the book,
19.
she's 19 and Carol is say 35.
Yeah.
So it little bit of it's
Stretch.
the 50s, so maybe
Yeah.
it's like and
Age was like less of like a constraint on things like that, you know what I mean? I guess.
like there's-
lesbianism was like out of the question anyway.
Yeah,
so
so
it's
you
like
gotta take what you can get, you know. But I felt like in the very last chapter of the book, she's really coming to her own, like new job, new attitude. She's great, and then she meets this actress, and and in the movie it's Carrie
Carrie,
Brownstein,
yeah.
and she basically is like, oh, it wasn't just this thing between me and Carol, it's something in me, like
yeah.
I'm gay, you know,
Yeah.
because it's this whole time she doesn't know
Yeah.
if she's gay or if she's just infatuated
Enamored
with
with-
this
yeah.
woman, because she basically is like, I just met her out of the blue and she has
Yeah.
completely captured, you know, my attention, which is valid, you
Yeah.
know. And so she's kind of struggling with that, but then obviously then at the end I'm like, no, go live your gay life.
yeah, right?
Yeah, but I guess that's the point of Carol, is that it always comes back to Carol.
I do really like that this kind of goes through the motions of like seeing someone realize that they're queer though. I do
Yeah.
really enjoy that. And there's this one scene in the movie that I really like. It's pretty much Therese was like over at Carol's like before Christmas, like hanging out, and Hard shows up and there's this big fight, and he's like, I gotta take Rindy for Christmas. And Carol's like, no, we agreed. And he's like, I'm taking her.
Yeah,
And so-
he's boozed out.
Yeah.
Kyle Chandler just stumbling around.
Yeah. They like put the kid in the car and he's gonna drive away with her. But so like there's this big fight and Carol kind of like she gets pretty pissed off and leaves like sends Therese to the train station on a kind of like a bad note. And it's pretty much like you just see Rooney Mara just break down on the train.
Oh my god.
And it's
like,
pretty much, it's one of those things, like, where you realize it's, like, she doesn't know why she's feeling all of these emotions, too, and, like,
Yeah.
how high intensity this is and everything like that, and you can tell, like, she's just confused, and she's, like,
sad.
yeah,
And that's like
sad
a really
and confused, and it's, like, why is this person that I just love to hang out with
yeah, right.
doing this? And it's, like, she hasn't, like, connected the dots of, like, oh, I love her.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But also... And I keep going back to the portrait episode because I think there are a lot of like good similarities
yeah,
and
for sure.
parallels. But it's like I was saying, if they're a good crier,
Yeah.
and Rooney Mara,
she can
breaks
cry.
she breaks it out
She's
like that.
her hands are shaking and she's touching her face a little bit. And I'm like,
dude,
shit,
there's
girl.
snot coming out of her nose. I'm like, how did you do that on command?
Yeah, right. CGI snot. No, I thought that was like a really great performance. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, I think movies do this a lot of time, but they basically handpicked out of these two main characters who was going to get the lead and who was going to for the Oscar, who was going to get supporting actress and who was going to get the actress nomination. And even though the movie's called Carol, Therese has more screen time. I think she is the protagonist.
Yeah.
But they gave the so Rooney Mara is in like something like 65% of screen time is her, and Carol is only like 50 or something. But they gave the lead actress nomination to Cate Blanchett. I mean, it is the titular role. I get it. And in the grand scheme of things, Cate Blanchett probably had a better shot at winning. You know, I think they do that a lot strategically. I know they did with The Favorite. You know,
it's hard to break it up, especially for The Favorite.
But it has nothing to do with percentage of screen time. It's merely just like how
it's
they
just
wanna...
like it's like this is Cate Blanchett's like 5th time being nominated for an Oscar, and it's like Rooney Mara's probably first, maybe second.
I probably
don't know.
girl
with the dragon tattoo.
That she got one.
Yeah.
So Jen's here for chocolate or vanilla.
Hello, Jen.
Oh, congrats on 10,000.
Thank you so
Hell
much.
yeah.
We wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah.
Is it? Are you guys ready? For
Yeah,
chocolate or
we
vanilla?
are ready. Oh, so
This is
chocolate.
the perfect time.
Chocolate or vanilla is a segment we do on the pod. It is a game by my mother, Jen's invention. She pops in at a nice halfway point to give us a nice intermission. It's a game, chocolate or vanilla. You say two things and you just say which one you like better.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
I like that.
And this is
It's
Carol.
intermission.
This is Carol themed, correct?
Yes. So the Carol theme is these are going to be things that are old and things that are new.
Oh,
Because what do you call it? A May December romance?
Yes,
Is that
yes.
like the term? Because that's definitely here is like Carol's the MILF and Therese is the baby.
Yeah.
So old things and new things. I like that.
Okay. So chocolate or vanilla?
I'll go first. Chocolate.
vanilla.
Chocolate. Robin Williams or John Mulaney?
Oh,
So after, I mean, I can't bring people's personal life into it, and I will say I personally consume the stand-up works of John Mulaney more than I do Robin Williams. But you gotta
fucking Robin
yeah,
Williams.
you gotta Jumanji, the genie. I gotta give it to Robin.
The
Williams.
birdcage?
Yeah, I gotta give it to Robin Williams.
yeah, Robin Williams for sure.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
hell
god.
yeah.
Robin Williams.
Also, I am Team Anna in the John Mulaney Anna split.
Who's gonna get Petunia?
I hope it's Anna. I hope it's Anna. I'm Team Anna. And in the custody battle, I will be her lawyer. We'll call up Erin and we will get Petunia.
Oh my god. It's like, what is it? Like 90% of the cases, usually the kid goes to the mother.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So I hope I can't say either way, but I just hope Petunia goes to a loving household.
Julie Andrews as Mary Poppins or Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins?
I love-
Julie Andrews.
Listen, I love Emily Blunt, but Julie Andrews.
Icon. Icon.
OG Julie Andrews.
Of course.
Pistachio ice cream or chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream?
And I like how the old thing is pistachio because that's such like a dad grandpa flavor, and then the young thing is chocolate chip cookie dough. I like that one. I'm gonna go with cookie dough.
See, here's the thing.
You're old. You're an old soul, Emily. What do you like rum raisin? You fuck.
No, but I worked at an ice cream stand for 3 years. And I'm just...
Ooh, the one by the lake?
Yeah. So I've eaten a lot of ice cream. And here's the thing. I've been... the infatuation with cookie dough, it's not there anymore. It's lost its sparkle. It's just chunks of cookie dough and vanilla ice cream. I'm not it doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, so
I
you're
don't know.
pistachio?
I'm gonna go with pistachio. I found it later in life, and I was like, "This is actually really good."
Yeah, pistachio. I like
Pistachio.
pistachio ice cream.
After the age of 65?
Yeah. I'm not 22. I'm actually a 65-year-old hosting this with Dara. What about you, Jen?
I will go chocolate chip cookie dough.
I just have to say, to defend my choice, I like the Ben and Jerry's or whatever you get a pint. I like to excavate the chunks of cookie dough with my spoon like a paleontologist.
I will say that it is rewarding when you have cookie
Like
dough
big
ice
chunk,
cream.
and you gotta work for it.
You get fun. Well, that's the thing. Is I don't want to have to work for my ice cream to get the flavor.
I guess.
You know what I
It's just
mean?
a fun time. You don't want to dig for dinosaur bones. You don't want to dig for cookie dough chunks.
I want full flavor throughout all of my ice cream.
And
so
I would pick Oreo over.
Oh yeah, cookies and cream.
I agree with you on that.
All right, a Chevy Impala or a brand new Honda Civic?
So like an old car or a new car, I gotta go new car. I just more reliable. I'm not a car person, so if like I had an old car that had a problem with it, that was like a niche thing, I don't know, I'd be like, what the fuck? But like I know that my car is somewhat new, so if there's an issue with it, it's not like they don't make the parts anymore or something, you know? People who have old cars, I respect that as a hobby for you, but it couldn't be me.
Here's the thing, is I drive a Civic. It's a 2003 Civic, and right now it doesn't have AC because something broke and I can't find a new part for it, and I'm so screwed. I'm going to a junkyard soon to like pick and pull, and I have to like pull out the AC on like this other car. So I'm gonna go with a new Civic because I do like a Civic, but I like it when it
Civics are
works.
nice
Yeah.
looking.
What do you go with?
Oh, the brand new Honda Civic. Have
Yeah.
you seen
Oh,
them?
yeah. I haven't, but I'll have to look at them.
Riuniti Lambrusco or Joel Gott Chardonnay? Joel Gott Cabernet.
So this is just an old wine and a new wine. Joel Gott, they're both reds though, right?
Yes.
A red wine gives me heartburn. I just know my dad really likes Joel Gott, and so I'll pick that, I guess.
There's a cab in there.
There's a cab in there.
Oh, I'll go for the cab.
All right, I'll go for the cab too. That one was compliments of Gary.
Yeah.
This is the most Gary's contributed to the show.
He just names two wines.
Doesn't listen, but he'll give us wines to choose from.
Email or text?
I'll go with email. Love an email.
I like getting an email from our listeners.
Hell yeah, if you want to email us at theswamp or theswamppod@gmail.com. We've had a few, they're few and far between, but whenever we get them, we shriek. We shriek in excitement.
I'm also gonna go email because I'm not a big texter. The only people I text are like my mom, my sister, and you when we're planning something.
Yeah.
I like a good email too. JFK or Obama?
I think JFK was a more interesting president because he got killed.
He also fucked Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama conflama within the JFK
And the only-
presidency.
The only drama with Obama.
Drone strikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go with JFK.
I will also go JFK.
I love Obama. Freddie Mercury or Justin Bieber?
What the fuck kind
Freddie.
of question is this? Freddie Mercury.
I'll take JB then.
Just to be different. You're a big Bohemian Rhapsody stan,
I do
though.
like that movie. I love Justin Bieber though.
Do you remember seeing the Justin Bieber movie in
Yes.
theaters? What was it? I feel like it was
Believe,
called
or something like that.
Believe.
And we saw it at a place where you could get
Food. Yeah, you
while
could, like-
watch the movie.
it was-
like,
Oh, wow.
like real food.
Well, would they bring
like-
it to you kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on a
Oh, wow.
like in a plastic basket, probably like the same food you served at your ice cream place.
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
diner food, like fry later food.
That's
but it was
fun,
like we
though.
sat at like a table. It was very fun.
Yeah.
It was very fun for 10-year-old me seeing the Justin Bieber movie.
Jazz music or rap music?
I love both, but I gotta go with hip hop. I love rap.
I'm really bad because I'm like going into the music industry and I just don't love like specifically rap.
Yeah,
No, like hip hop. I feel like it's
Yeah.
like a but like
I probably should have said hip hop. Yeah.
if it's okay,
It's a similar genre. Rap, hip hop. It's it's in the same genre family.
see, I'm in the same boat. I do love jazz, but I think there's enough hip hop that I listen to that I'm like, okay. I don't listen to jazz all the time.
Yeah.
I have to have one of those fucking peanut butter and jelly whiskeys.
Yes. Put on some
I pull out like my 30s big band like vinyl and I put it
Yeah,
on
right.
and I start cleaning my room, doing a little dance. But that only happens
Benny
like
Goodman.
yeah, exactly. That
Wailing
only
on the
happens like
clarinet.
that only
Yeah.
happens like once a month or something like that. But I definitely listen to like more hip hop, so I'll have to say hip hop.
I'll go hip hop also. Take out Chinese food or take out sushi?
Oh, if we're doing takeout, definitely Chinese food. I love that, Chinese food is meant to be ate on your couch, like a little drunk. It's sushi. I want to be at the function. I want to be at the event, eating classy. Takeout, it's gotta be Chinese.
See, I have like highs and lows with Chinese food, and right now I'm in a lull. So I'm gonna say sushi because I was just gushing about how I was house sitting and I got sushi and I was like sitting outside eating living my best life eating
Yeah.
sushi on my deck. I don't know. I love a good crab rangoon,
Yeah.
but that's all that's doing it for me right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. If I got General Tso's, I don't think I'd really eat it.
Oh.
I know it's sad. It's sad. Just give me like 5 months and I'll be back.
Yeah,
on my
you'll be
shit.
back up, yeah.
Exactly.
I'll do take out Chinese food. And Bud Light or Harpoon Double IPA?
Oh, I mean, I fuck both of those. Fuck both of those choices, but I would never even consider touching a Bud Light. So I'll go with the double
Really?
IPA. I would force myself to drink IPAs taste like dishwater.
Yeah.
It tastes nasty. I would force myself to look cool. I would drink the IPA. I would guzzle it down begrudgingly just to not be. I don't want to be fucking seen in public drinking a Bud Light. Who am I?
What if
You
it
know how
was,
many people drink Bud Light?
what if it was in a pint glass, really cold, outside at a cookout?
It's
I
like
still would never.
it's
choose
like
it.
drinking water. It's not work.
I hate it.
It's work drinking an IPA.
It makes me feel like I ate bread, but it worse. So full. I'm not a beer person.
as if an IPA is not going to do 2 times
But
that
at
to
least you get the culture of people thinking you're cool.
and that's what matters.
I don't know. I would just go with sometimes I just like at the
I think Jen and I are both going for the Bud Light here,
I
right?
just like at the liquor store, all the IPAs have all the fun.
They do have fun ones.
like labels and stuff, and I wish I liked them because I'm like, it's got a pirate lady stomping a peasant.
fish, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I
that's
definitely like people who like IPAs. Like a lot of my
Well, like,
fun
you won't
friends,
drink an IPA,
I
right?
hate them.
Yeah.
They're so sour.
I would just
We-
to keep the can.
we like a good sour beer, though,
Yeah,
right?
I love a
do
sour
I
beer.
love a sour beer.
I shouldn't have said
Yeah.
sour hoppy. Yeah, like too hoppy for me.
No, I do love a good sour beer. I'll
I guess
opt
I'm
out.
a poser. I guess I'm just a fucking poser over here with my IPA that I don't even want.
Well, that's the good thing too is like you can drink that over the course of an hour, and I'll already be like 6 Bud Lights deep by the time you finish your
I
double
can-
IPA.
Have you ever rode the bus?
Oh, I've ridden the bus.
I hate that. You know that the Vine or the TikTok of the kid who tries to guzzle a LaCroix really fast.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna see if I can drink this seltzer without burping. And then he does it, and he's burping a lot, and then he hits his head on his garage. That would be me trying to drink beer. Like just
What does ride the bus mean?
Oh, see, we're gonna teach a lot of 16-year-olds today. Really,
Don't do this. It's a drinking game in which you drink beer
Here's the
very
thing.
fast, and you will vomit or you will feel very disgustingly full. Don't do it. Drinking games are bad.
If you're over 21, feel free. It's a great pregame, I would say.
I hate it.
If you're in a rush and you need to like get there fast, I say ride the bus. So pretty much what it is you have a deck of cards. And there's like there's 4 sections of it pretty much. So, and you have to guess. It's either you guess red or black. And if you get it wrong, then you have to drink and you start over. And once you get red or black right, and then they go, okay.
And you keep flipping until it's the thing you said. So if it's like you say red and they're flipping
And it's
cards,
blacks all the time. You're drinking the whole time.
you don't get to stop drinking your beer until a red card comes along.
So it's red or black, and then it goes high or low from like whatever the last card was. Is it higher or is it lower? Okay. And then the next one is in or out. So it's like, is it in between the numbers that you just pulled, or is it out of them? And then the last one is the suit, and that's what kills you.
Because you have to keep drinking your beer until
like
they
a
flip.
diamond pops up or something.
Yeah, and until you like actually guess the right suit, and then if you don't guess the right suit, then you start over.
And
That's
it
the
takes
thing.
between 1 and 2 rounds of this to finish your whole beer because you're drinking it consistently the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad. I hate it.
I like it for when I need it, but if like I'm already where I need to be, and people are like, "Let's ride the bus."
Absolutely,
I'm like, "No,
not.
Let's see.
Oh, we still
A three-parter. Sorry, two more questions. Three-parter. Toby or Andrew or Tom as Spider-Man?
Oh, don't ask me this question.
You're putting her in a really tough spot.
Oh my god, I can't omit myself from this. So, Andrew Garfield, I love you, but you're out of the question. Which movies do I enjoy watching more? Tobey Maguire. The Sam Raimi Spider-Mans are a romp and a half. So fun. I love them. Nothing will hold a candle. But who is the best Spider-Man? And it's Tom Holland. That little
do a great
Twinkie
job.
boy is what Stan Lee had in mind when he made Spider-Man.
He's
Tom Holland is Peter Parker.
He's the most like appropriate one, you know what I mean? He's like the actual age that Spider-Man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like he's not actually, but he looks it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I have just not seen enough of the Tom Holland ones to like have a good opinion of them or just have any opinion at all. So I'm gonna go with the originals
Yeah.
and say Toby. But I do like Tom, and I like that he does all of his own stunts and everything like that. And from what I've seen, he definitely embodies the role the most.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go with Tom. And last question, Kate Blanchett or Rooney Mara?
Oh, Kate motherfucking MILF Blanchett is my answer.
I do really enjoy Rooney Mara. I like her a lot. I think she's a phenomenal actress. I think she's underrated for sure. But I have to say Kate Blanchett, because are you fucking kidding me? It's Kate Blanchett.
Also going with Kate.
Yeah.
That's
That was a good round.
Yeah, old and new.
Thank
I
you,
like
Jen.
that.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Jen, do you have any input? What do you think Harge is short for?
Harge.
Do you think it's a nickname for something else?
Yeah,
They never
do
say.
they say
Harginold?
their last name?
Aired.
Aired.
Oh.
AIRD.
Yeah, I have no idea. I never
Harge aired.
have met a Harge.
See,
and
Carol
I've met
Aird is
lot
a
of
good
people.
name.
Harge aired. Yeah, you never met a Harge? Well, I've never met a Rindy.
Yeah, also, you're right.
I know a Cindy.
Mindy.
A Mindy.
No.
I don't even have close to a clue.
That's gonna be for our giveaway. Their best guess for Harge is the entry fee.
Someone's dad out there is named Harge.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Please.
Get
please.
Harge on the. Harge can be on this podcast and can do the big reveal of what his fucking name is. I bet it's like Richard or like Glenn.
It's one of those things. It
Kyle,
doesn't add
yeah.
up. Kyle.
Dennis. I don't know.
Like Harry.
Harry.
Yeah.
Harge.
I could not tell you for the life of
Racking
me.
my brain.
I don't know.
All right.
But
Well, thanks for
Thanks,
being
Jen.
on. That was a really good
thank
one.
you, Jen.
Always making me rack
Yeah.
my brain about the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to cover the Sam Raimi ones for sure. I fucking love those
Yeah.
movies.
Also, if you want more of Jen and more chocolate and vanilla in the capacity that we do this, buy some of our merch, because at the moment, this is probably our last podcast that we're doing
Together
in the same room
in a
in your
while.
basement.
Yeah, this one and the next one, but probably for the foreseeable future. So to let you guys in on a fact about my life, I am moving in a couple days from now in present time. So I'm sure by the time you listen to this, I will be long moved. But actually, maybe the day before, because but anyways, I'm moving to Syracuse, New York, which is nothing town.
They've got a school. That's it.
Yeah, they've got a school, and that's why I'm going, because I decided to prolong real adulthood by taking out more loans. But so if any of you listeners are from the Syracuse area and want to be my friend, I literally don't know a single soul up there.
Yeah.
So Henry and I are just moving. We're probably gonna get some cats to be our friends. But
You should name one of them Harge.
Harge. Oh man, that would be like an old old fat cat named Harge. Are you kidding me? But if you're from that area, legit, I'll buy you a drink because I have no friends and I am going to be pretty lonely. So hit me up, send us a DM, or if you're from that area, if you know that area and you know like cool spots or anything. I've literally never been there in my life. I'm just moving there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we're gonna be miles and miles apart, and so we're gonna have to do this over Zoom or some capacity
via the internet.
We'll figure it out though. I'm honestly hoping that our sound quality improves.
It probably will, because right now we're working off of one mic and we're just sitting very close to each other.
We're cheek to cheek. We're like brushing earlobes, trying to both talk directly. That's why when Jen comes in, she sounds so distant, when in reality she's pretty close, because it's one mic.
So if you buy some merch,
we could get Jen a mic.
We'll be able to get Jen a mic, and she'll be able to pop in, and we can have like a full, like really well, like a good quality sounding bit for her, because we can't get rid of Jen.
No, of course not. Well, she's my mom. I can't get rid of her even if I wanted to. But yeah, so buy our merch. You can check it on our website, theswamppodcast.com. Also on my Etsy, I sell movie themed pins.
I love your pins.
I'm
gonna buy the Kill Bill ones.
You could probably just have them. But all the proceeds will obviously go towards this podcast that we love making so much. And yeah, hit me up if you're from Syracuse. Buy our merch if you want more Jen. Buy our merch even if you're just chilling. even if you despise the chocolate or vanilla segment and you think it's confusing and stupid, just forget I even said anything and buy my merch anyways. But I guess back to Carol. So can we just talk about how they fucking first date? So right,
I'm glad I was literally just about to get to this.
So your first date with local MILF, Kate Blanchett, and she was like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go out for boiled spinach and eggs.
A dry martini.
And a dry martini.
Here's the thing, is that even if I was on a date with the most beautiful MILF that I've ever seen, that is the biggest red flag ever. I'd fucking run.
Really?
My god.
I would do it.
You would grin and bear it, and you would eat this boiled spinach and the poached egg?
Yeah, I would do it.
Oh.
There are worse things. You know, she could have ordered sardines. She could have ordered, I don't know, haggis. There are worse things. I would not be
pretty bad, though.
Well, the whole thing is that Therese is so, like, meek and unsure of herself that she doesn't even order her own food. She just says,
I'll have the same.
And he's like the meal and the drink, and she's like, yeah, whatever. So she just has to fucking sit here with her boiled spinach, poached egg, and dry martini combo. Ugh. That is, I will not be suggesting that as the food pairing for this movie.
Nope.
Abso-fucking-lutely not.
But date one, boiled spinach and a poached egg.
Well, date one is you sell her a train. Date one is you have a meat cute in the department store, and you sell this bitch a train. Date two is you eat boiled spinach poached egg, and a martini.
Yep.
Date three is you meet the kid. You meet the child, you meet the fam, and you witness a domestic scuffle between a recently divorced couple. The ex shows up drunk, and there's a bit of a scuffle.
He asks, "How do you know my wife?"
She's like, "She works at the department store. Fuck off." And then date four, you run away together.
Yeah, really.
And those are the 4 dates in the movie.
What more could you want? To be fair, if it was Kate Blanchett and I was in Therese's position, I would do the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah, I would also just...
What am I to do?
Do anything she says. She's kind of just like, Therese, this is what we're doing. Like, she does not ever really ask her anything. She's always just like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, Therese doesn't care because she can't make a fucking decision.
Yeah.
Until Carol literally ghosts her.
Yeah, forces her to, like, come to terms with herself as a person. But yeah, this first date is literally so fucked, I just have to say.
You mean second date?
Oh, second, yeah, the second, well, the first official, the first out on the town.
Yeah, oh my god. She's like, so strange girl, flung out of space.
It's like,
what does that mean?
Also, she's not that strange.
No!
She's actually pretty boring.
Exactly.
She's pretty flat. Mm-hmm. She just has cute hair.
Which, mind you, her and Therese and Carol's daughter have the exact same haircut.
Oh my god. Okay, let's crack into the mommy issues here, shall we?
A lot of mommy issues.
This is the mommy, the gay...
Pandora's box of mommy issues.
Yeah, the lesbian, gay, mommy issue movie. Mm-hmm. If you're a gay with mommy issues, this movie might be a little... too true.
The book gives a lot more context.
Yeah, about how Therese doesn't really have a relationship with her mom. She was kind of orphaned / abandoned.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have
Her mom gave her to the nuns.
Yeah, basically. And like she actively chooses to not be in contact with her mother, you know, for
Which
that reason.
I also wouldn't.
True. But so so the opening scene of this movie, when they are in the department store, Therese is standing behind her doll counter and with her little Christmas hat on, and there's just a sign right next to her that says "Mommy's baby." Your first
From the jump.
your first introduction to Therese.
Mommy's baby.
Mommy's baby. and then definitely Therese, and then Rindy, who's Carol's daughter. Same fucking hair. They look alike. If you cast that child to be a young Therese, it would have been believable.
When they first meet, like, Carol takes out a picture of Rindy, and it's just like, oh, wait, this is my baby picture.
Yeah.
Therese is looking at it.
Are you
Are you
my mother?
That book is, are you my mom?
Yeah. It's just like so, and then also the age gap is, again, it's not as bothersome to me as some other
It could be
movies
worse.
are. It
could be like Call Me by Your Name, which is just
disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this like 35-year-old. She's already, especially because Carol is a mom and has those like mothery instincts, you kind of see her treat Rindy and Therese in a similar way. A lot of the time, like the loving stroking of the hair.
the hands on the shoulders.
Yeah,
it's tough because
very paternal.
Yeah. But Therese is like, oh, this is really sexy.
Yeah. Well, she's like, I never had a mom. She's nutting her pants. But basically, I think Carol kind of gets off on like telling Therese what to do.
Oh,
she's
100%.
Because she's just this
No
empty canvas.
doubt.
Yeah, she's just this empty canvas of a human. And Carol is so like assured and kind of bossy and
That's
very
what's so,
serious.
That's what's so like
hot.
exactly odd about her. That's what draws you in.
Yeah, she never asks. She tells. You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like the sexiest quality a person can have is being so self-assured.
decision making skills.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to decide anything, but do not order me boiled spinach and fucking poached egg. That is where I draw the line. Kate. Carol. But yeah, there is like this definitely like weird paternal mom.
Yeah, it's one of those I feel like if you didn't read the books, like you're not gonna read into it as much, but after reading the book.
But I still the fact of how much
there.
she looks like her daughter, it's like ugh.
Yeah, I want to know if that was like a choice that Todd Haynes like really made, or if that was just like they're like, oh, this is the 50s. This
They
is what
all
people
have the
look
same
like.
hair. Yeah, everyone has bangs except Carol.
That's how you know she's gay as hell.
Yeah, she's blonde.
Hey,
no
hey.
bangs.
Abby doesn't have bangs.
Abby does not have bangs either.
And Abby's gay as hell. I want to talk about Abby.
Oh my god. Abby, I'm an Abby stan, and I think she got the short end of the stick. Sarah Paulson, actual gay person, Sarah Paulson, which I think,
God bless her. She's probably one of my favorite actresses.
her cry,
I love
She
it.
does the cry, and I can't say it's good, but it's certainly iconic.
I love that one from
Her scream cry.
oh my god. It's so good.
It's just but yeah, she's
What is it,
great.
that thing from like American Horror Stories, like, oh, poor Shelby. I feel like part of me's died.
Yeah. Oh my
Just
god.
so iconic.
No, she's so good in everything though, and
my God.
I am always enlightened to see her pop up on my screen. You
Yeah.
know, in situations like this where I'm like, oh, Sarah Paulson, hell yeah,
She's a scene stealer.
yeah, and
100%.
I love basically the whole Abby character is kind of constantly in the background as like Carol's right hand woman. Basically,
Yeah.
it's implied like best friends since childhood. She's Rindy's godmother. She seems to be very much entangled in this family affair of like the divorce, and she's really there through the whole thing. They're using her a lot as evidence against Carol. Like Hard shows up at Abby's house one point, and he's like, I want to talk to Carol, and she's like, Carol's
was a
not
great
here.
scene.
Like she's like, Carol's not here, and he's like, I know you're lying, because basically the whole thing is that they're gay together. Or
Which
at
was
least-
like, it happened one time.
and that's just her friends. They can't be hanging out. Like, I don't know.
But that's a great scene in general. Where it's like Hard just trying to barge in, and he's like
Barging hard.
and he's like, I love her, and she's like, I can't help you with that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I love when she shows up, and the first thing she does is like she picks Carol up from her second date with Therese, and she's like smoking a cigarette in her convertible, and she goes, "You want to tell me about her?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're like the amicable exes who are like, spill the tea. Who's this new? And at one point, she's like, "Oh, I have a date with the redhead
Carol,
from
yeah, right.
from down the street or whatever."
Carol's like, "Can you handle a redhead?"
I love.
I
their
believe Abby can handle a redhead.
Yeah, right. I love their dynamic, and honestly, I would say that I ship Carol and Abby, but I think Abby deserves better. Abby
Yes.
deserves somebody a little.
That's gonna give her their full,
Yeah.
like everything. You know what I mean?
I think
Carol's
Abby's
too
great.
reserved. Yeah.
Yeah, she's too aloof. She's too like dancing around the bush.
Yeah.
No, bushing around the
Bush.
bush.
Not Carol's though.
There is a tasteful sex scene in this movie, which we have mentioned in our
Yeah.
episodes past. That a lot of
This was like the first. Not
I would
the
say
first.
Portrait there was boobs, there was nip.
That doesn't mean there's sex though. We didn't see any sex. We saw someone finger blasting an armpit.
Yeah. Well, we saw the undressing before
Yeah.
the act, and then we saw the after. But this one we get the canoodle.
Yeah, which I'm glad we made it for like 4 movies without like finding a sex scene.
This one doesn't bother me.
No,
it's like
no,
not
no.
necessary, but also
Like a man directed this, so it's like okay.
it's a little masturbatory. Like
Hardly the sex scene is literally like maybe 10 seconds, and that's my favorite part about it. Is that
oh my god, Carol dips her head in between Theresa's legs and then
That's
immediately
it.
comes back up, and that's the whole thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it took a second? By God, what do you have, Carol? What is this magic? She's not even. She like kind of
like, can you write me a book?
Yeah. She like kind of brushes her cheek kind of near the area, and then she's like, "We're done." Therese is like, "That was amazing."
Therese takes like one gasping breath, and that's it. And you're like, oh my god,
Wow.
oh my god.
Wow, Carol.
So you've had practice. Jesus.
But so to compare, so in the book, basically, you get a lot more of Therese's boyfriend and that whole relationship. What's his name?
Richard.
Richard. And he calls her Terry. And he calls her Terry, but everyone
that.
calls her Terry except Carol calls her Therese, which is like a nice little distinction. I don't know. But in the book, essentially, it's a lot more fleshed out about how this boyfriend is constantly like, I love you with all of my heart. I want to marry you. You are the girl of my dreams.
Yeah.
Do you love me back? And she's like,
Fuck no.
She's like, no.
She like won't even say I love you.
No, like, but he straight up asks her many times, and she's always like, "No, not really." And he's like, "That's fine, I'll wait." And it's just, and I'm just like, "What? What in the
Richard.
goddamn?" But like, I guess she's worth it, I guess. But all the time, he's like, you never even want to, kiss me or anything. Like, obviously, they've never slept together. Is the big implication, and she's just like, "Yeah, not really my jam." He's like, yeah, like, you don't really like to hold my hand in public. She's like, yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
This whole thing really isn't for me. And he's
And then
like, okay.
It's so out of the blue when she's like, I'm going on a road trip for I don't know how long with this woman that I met last week.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
And there's this whole prior conversation, which I think translates from the book to the movie pretty well.
Yeah, it's like,
where-
have you ever been in love with a boy?
Yeah,
She asked him.
do you think you could fall in love with a boy? And he's like, no, I'm not. She's like, oh, well, do you know about it? And he's like, yeah, I know.
I've heard
I've heard that gay
stories.
people exist, basically.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, not gay people, just two people of the same gender, just out of nowhere falling in love with each other. And
He's like, that's what gay people are.
yeah, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she goes, well, do you think I could be that? Basically, she's like, she's
Like, do
confused.
she's like, do you think I'm gay?
Yeah, and he's just like, no, I don't in a million years ever think you could be gay. And then she's like, okay, I'm going on a road trip with my new girlfriend. Bye.
And he's like, is so taken aback.
Yeah, he's like,
Like-
what the fuck?
Like they really dumbed Richard down from the book to the movie.
I loved it though. I love
But even in the book, like, he was like, this came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, brother, this was a long time coming.
And
Not-
he's, like,
I can't even
still-
say a long time. It's 2 weeks.
He's still like writing her letters too in the
Yeah.
book, like while she's on this trip, and
Yep.
he's like, "I really hope you consider like coming back." And the very last chapter is pretty jarring. It's this letter that he writes to
Mm-hmm.
her, and it's hard. And it's like, he's like, "I thought I loved you at one point, but now I can't even say I respect you as a person."
Yeah.
Like this whole basically him being like, "Oh, I understand that you're gay now,"
Mm-hmm.
and like that's what this is all about. And it's just this nasty letter
Yeah.
where he basically just like rips her apart and is like, you disgust me.
Yeah.
Like, can't believe you would do this to my family. Like,
Oh,
all that
yeah, his
kind of
family
stuff.
was involved and
Yeah.
all that shit. But
I'm kind of glad we didn't get that in the movie because
it would have really taken away from,
yeah, and it just would have been upsetting to watch. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're past that. When this book was written, it was probably more...
it is pretty interesting. So this book was written by a woman, and she based this on her her life and her
She's a queer
experiences.
woman. This is the one queer story that she wrote, really, because she didn't want to be, like, defined by being,
Well,
like, a
and she
queer
did it under
author.
a pen name. She did a pen name because
Yep.
she didn't want anybody to know it was her. Because obviously in the 50s she would have gotten like slandered. So she did it under a pen name, but she based it. She's essentially the Therese character, and she
Yeah.
had this affair with this older woman who was going through a divorce, and it was quite similar to the Carol situation.
Good for her.
Yeah, yeah, right. But so she wrote it under this pen name, and essentially it's kind of defined as being one of the only pieces of like media from that time period,
Yeah.
really, that portrays lesbians not in a bad
tragic way, yeah.
Like in like a negative light per se. But yeah, I don't know if it was popular or anything back then. I know it certainly is now because of the movie. But yeah, she did it under pen name because she was like, I am not getting outed,
Oh, yeah, of course.
by this
Jeez.
whole thing. But obviously now it's printed under her real
Yeah.
name.
No, so my fun fact for this episode is that King Princess, that one like really hit
Hell
song she
yeah.
had, like 1950,
1950,
is based off of the book. The book is called The Price of Salt, but then
Parentheses,
it's
Carol.
But
I like that title. I like The Price of Salt.
way better, right? Carol's just
It's just the name of
like, again,
Carol.
it points you towards the titular character, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But The Price of Salt is just a
Really
great
good.
title.
Yeah.
Great title.
But yeah, King Princess, lesbian, singer, songwriter, good music.
Just lesbian.
yeah, just overall lesbian. I enjoy her music thoroughly, and that's a good song.
She's got some bops. King Princess?
yeah.
If you want to come on the
God.
pod.
King Princess, whatever movie I'll watch Carol again for you. But yeah, her song 1950 is about this.
Oh my god, yeah. Iconic.
Which I love that little bit of context too. Whenever that comes on my
Yeah,
shuffle, I'm like, "Hey,
right?
Carol." Hey, girl. Okay, so what would you pair this as for food? Because it's not it for sure as
It's not
hell.
boiled spinach.
It's not boiled spinach. I know in the book they like eat like cured meats kind of a lot, and it's like a lot of weird food
I don't
that
want
I just
that.
don't.
I don't want that.
What's something fucking classy?
Like a steak.
Yeah, I don't know.
We gonna get real butch about it?
Yeah, right.
Go grill. You know who'd grill up a steak? Abby. Certainly not Harge.
Yeah, Harge cannot. Harge could never.
Harge couldn't even fix the plumbing on the sink.
Yeah, right. They're like very rich, and they have all of these like help around them. Basically, like there's what's the name of the maid who's the snitch?
Florence.
Yeah, so Harge basically has all of these like house employees around who are all like under his thumb,
Yeah.
snitching on Carol.
Yep.
It's fucked. It's some fuckery.
Yeah.
But the driver, the housekeeper, all of them are like keeping out a gay eye for Carol.
Uh-huh.
The gay police. Harge literally assembles the gay police. Kyle Chandler, in true cop fashion,
Yep.
is the chief of the
The
gay police.
Yep, 100%. I really don't know what you have with this. I feel like
We ate Chex Mix.
yeah, Jen made some popcorn and some Chex Mix for us,
yeah.
which is really good.
Dry. It fit.
I mean, like, you could do, like, because I'm thinking of, like, what I would order, like, at a restaurant almost in, like, the 50s, and I'm like, fucking mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean?
Like old timey food.
This is a tough one. We should have thought about this beforehand.
Yeah, the beef or the fish gives me that like vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Make steak tips or something like that.
Yeah, something kind of I mean, I'm not gonna say a cheese board because that's
No, we can't do it. Nope.
I'd something kind of dry and sad, like a toast.
Dry and sad. Oh god, I don't know. I'm like.
Oh, okay. This is
You got it?
Here we go. This is a Christmas movie.
That's true. It is a Christmas movie.
This is a Christmas movie. So
Yeah.
if you go a little
I forget
Christmassy,
that.
if you go a little Christmassy, you could do like a Christmas candy or like, you know, what a Christmas themed kind of food, a hot cocoa moment. It's snowing and it's Christmas constantly. I don't know, a ham. What do people eat on Christmas? I don't really know.
Yeah.
But if you I think if you wanted to go in like a nice holiday Christmas direction,
Make some mashed potatoes and like a ham.
yeah,
Or something like that.
Something
You know what I
weird,
mean?
something weird and festive. And
Yeah. You have to watch this around Christmas. That's it.
It's a Christmas movie it's the same way that like Harry Potter is a Christmas movie because they're British and it snows.
Yeah,
This is a
exactly,
Christmas
exactly.
movie because it snows.
Yeah,
it's
'cause they're
New
gay
York.
and it snows.
Yeah, it's New York City with snow. Like, come on. And buy yourself a model train. And then for drinks, so they're always like
They're drinking rye in the book. And
my
they're not
God.
drinking rye in the movie, but they're drinking martinis. And everyone knows where we stand on martinis
I
on
just
this
can't
podcast.
do it. I'm just like a pussy. I'm a little pussy ass bitch.
Why do I want an olive in my drink? I don't. Maybe if I'm having a Bloody Mary. And that's a hard maybe. That's if I can't make it myself and it just comes with an olive on
I'll
top.
pick out the olive.
Yeah. I'll like give it to whoever I'm with and be like, you're eating this, I'm not eating this.
I will drink a Bloody Mary if somebody gives one to me for free in some sort of context, but I just don't understand why someone was eating gazpacho and said, this needs vodka.
That's
What?
fair. I don't know. I do
It's a meal. It fills me up.
yeah,
It's soup. It's literally soup. It's literally cold tomato soup with fucking vodka in it.
it's a rare occasion where I really like want one, but when I want one, I'm like, I want a Bloody Mary. I don't know, man. Something about brunch.
But brunch, I can't eat with that because that's like 2 meals.
That's true.
But we drank wine because I guess that was like...
Yeah, I would say because, like we said, did we say? I don't know. But we were gonna try and do a Manhattan and get really fancy with it, but you
to
can't.
the store and just rye whiskey's so like literally the smallest bottle I could find was like $35, and I'm like, I'm not about to
doing that,
spend
yeah.
this much money for a drink I'm not gonna
Yeah.
like. You know, if we
Yeah.
were like, oh, tiki drinks, and I was taking a risk, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, you need to buy this $35
Fine.
bottle of
It's a
passion
tiki-
fruit. You know,
it's a tiki drink.
I was
You know you're gonna like
Yeah,
it.
I knew.
So if you like Manhattans, then I'd say drink a Manhattan. Or just like look up like fancy drinks and make yourself a little fancy drink. Like a classic cocktail, you know what I mean?
yeah, something simple.
If you're not like us and you can drink a martini, then drink a martini.
oh yeah.
But it's just not me, and that's not you.
No, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me with the martini.
Yeah.
Again, like vodka on the rocks, like if that's something you can physically handle.
I want something that I can like actually drink. Like it would take me the entirety of this movie
Just
to drink one martini.
Yeah, just because it'd
probably.
be like baby sipping my way through it.
But I did drink like 3.5 glasses of wine throughout the whole movie.
we finished a few bottles of wine. It did take us more than 2 hours to finish this movie, though.
We got very sidetracked because there was a lot to say during the film. But yeah, I'd say if you want to play it safe, wine. If you want to feel a little fancier, red wine.
yeah. Again, I'm a heartburn queen, so I'm white wine only. But if you can, I think red wine could go definitely with the Christmas vibe of this movie for sure.
I'm gonna go on a tangent really quick. I had the craziest wine recently. I was at the winery. It was Father's Day. We brought my dad to the winery. It was lovely. And there's this. It's raspberry and chocolate wine.
Oh, was it amazing? It's like a port, like a dessert wine.
Fucking fine. Yeah, it's a dessert wine for sure.
I love it. That's the only kind of red wine I can really is a port, and it's like very desserty. And you drink, you pour a tiny little bit of it into your glass, and it's thick. It almost is like chocolate syrupy texture.
Yep, exactly.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah, no, it was the craziest thing. I have some at my house, and I'm like, I'm gonna finish that one night with a croissant. You know, because we were sitting there, we're like, what do you drink? What do you have with this? Because
Yeah.
it's dessert in itself, and I'm like, a pastry. You need a pastry. I don't have anything after that.
Yeah, a nice. No, I think a nice port could be
port could be
really
fun.
good. Yeah, because again, kind of Christmassy, wintry, warm,
Yeah.
feminine. Is that, I don't know, raspberry?
Raspberry and chocolate,
kind of girly. I don't know.
like chocolate dipped strawberries type thing. Yeah. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
chocolate dipped strawberries could be a
That'd
good,
be good.
food pairing. That's
Isn't that like just pick out an aphrodisiac to watch?
yeah, right. Oysters. Yeah. But that, I mean, that would kind of fit the vibe, I think. Oysters. If you're an oyster kind of person.
That feels like an older, like 50s thing that you would do, but I couldn't.
No.
God, no.
And then what would you follow this movie up with?
I'm gonna pick from our bank of movies that we've done. Because, like I said...
Portrait.
Yeah, it's Portrait. It's Portrait, of course. Because you see where we started, and you've seen where cinema has progressed.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think you have to do Portrait, and I think I really like it because they've got like a similar, I don't want to say similar color palette, but like there's this whole like red and green thing going on with Carol and Therese throughout the whole movie, which is like Therese is always in green and Carol's always in red and everything like that, and that's Christmas or whatever. But Portrait has the same thing where like the dress that Heloise is wearing is like super green, and Marianne only has one outfit and it's red.
Yeah.
So no, I'd say definitely you follow it up with Portrait.
As like the improved
Carol.
queer cinema,
Yeah.
like if it's like a Pokemon evolution, like Carol is the starter you get, but
Yeah.
like Portrait's the last.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
like the third, like
Yeah.
finally taken final form.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the in-between is, but
Yeah.
the Handmaiden, maybe.
Yeah. I have a couple. So I think this movie gets me jazzed about period pieces.
Yep.
And so definitely
It's really great. The setting in this movie is
yeah,
phenomenal.
and so I just think if you can just pick another period piece that really gets you jazzed, like a Pride and Prejudice moment, or just something like a really solid, just a period, because this movie just
Go for Atonement, which is also really sexy.
yeah. Oh my god,
Keira Knightley in that green dress.
I was gonna say another green dress, but just this movie makes me really appreciate like costume, set, cinematography, sound, like in the context of a period piece. Just I think it really is where the magic comes from. So I think another period piece would be good. I think you could also do the Rooney Mara special and watch Girl with the Dragon Tattoo to watch two very different performances from her, because I think that would be
that's Rooney Mara's best.
yes,
Girl
just
with
to
the
see
Dragon Tattoo.
like how versatile she is as an actress.
Great actress.
And then my third is like kind of offhanded, but Rooney Mara is married to Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
And they just had a baby that they named River after
I forgot that.
rest
yeah.
in peace, River Phoenix. So I think you honor River Phoenix and you watch Stand By Me.
I like where you're going with
So
this.
yeah, really off two movies that they do not share the vibe at all.
You took like two jumps, but
Yeah,
I like how
the
you did it.
familial little,
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like that movie.
Yeah.
It's a good one. And it would be a good little tonal shift.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Should we jump into Fuck, Marry, Kill? Because we've been doing this backwards.
Yeah, I don't think we have any order for these.
No.
This is hard.
I like to keep the viewers on edge. We'll save the best bit for last, which is
Right.
always Fuck, Marry, Kill.
This is really hard, so I'm definitely fucking killing.
Should wait, hold on. Should we go for like top three first, and then I guess there's
Carol, Therese, Abby. Are
Yes,
we doing the
yes,
three
yes,
of
yes.
them?
You read my mind.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to marry Abby. Duh.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck Carol because whatever she's doing to Therese seems to be some
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
magic, and I'll kill Therese because she's boring.
exactly no.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
And then I would say from the whole movie, I have a similar feeling. I'm still marrying Abby. She's
Yep,
my queen.
Exactly.
You
You can't not.
I'm killing the fuck out of Harge. Fuck that guy. Give Rindy to Carol.
Her and Therese Therese is gonna culture her a little bit.
Yeah, right? And then who do I fuck? I still think I fuck Carol.
Yeah. My God. What kind of magic has she got? Like
You just,
upper
all she has to do is look at me. That
Yeah.
way she looks at Therese, I'd be like, I'm done. I don't know about you, but I'm
Did
I'm
you
all
finish?
set.
Okay.
I'm all set, yeah. What about you, the whole movie? Do you have...
No, it's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Abby is the top priority for me.
Right?
It's Sarah Paulson. I feel like she's got a lot to say. She's not the boring type. Carol's the boring type.
Yeah,
but not in bed.
I cannot deal with that aloof shit. Like,
No.
just say what
Be
you
real with me.
mean.
And you know who's a real one? Abby.
Abby.
She's there for you too.
Oh my God, I
Dude,
love-
if no one's got me, Abby's got me.
I love that scene when she picks Carol up from her first date and they're wearing these like
I know.
matching
Oh!
headscarves. So they both have like Abby's is like green and Carol's is pink or something
Yep.
like that. And they both have on like these sunglasses.
Huge glasses,
Oh my
yeah.
God, I would kill to just ride shotgun in Abby's convertible with a little 1950s get-up look. Are you kidding me? That would be...
That's a good Halloween costume. Someone should do that for a Halloween
That would be like
costume.
very niche, but you could also do...
You can still get a fur coat at like Goodwill for like
Yeah,
nothing.
right.
Oh my god. Iconic. Yeah, no, I wish there was more to say about Fuck, Marry, Kill, but there's
It's pretty
there's
obvious.
Yeah.
I kill every oaf of a man in this movie by simply sneak attacking him because he's slow and stupid.
Yeah, I actually load the gun that Carol had
Oh my
without
God.
any bullets, and I just shoot
The most anticlimactic gun scene in a movie I've ever seen. She pulls out a gun, tries to shoot something, and it's just not loaded.
yeah, and she
then
just
she
throws the
gun
gun at-
away.
Yeah, really.
So dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening
Mm-hmm.
to our Pride Month. I think next month we'll do some listener requested movies because you guys have been sending in some
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
amazing suggestions. We can't.
Yeah, please, if you've got anything that you're dying for us to watch and review, send it in. We'll add it to our list.
Yeah, I love it. I write them all down, and even if it's something I've never seen, I'll watch the trailer and stuff
Yep.
to just like catch a vibe about it. We always will text each other like, "Oh, have you seen this one that somebody just
Yeah.
requested?" So we love to hear from you guys. Literally, send in 50. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, please.
Like
The more the merrier.
Anything you think that we would enjoy or you would like to hear us talk about. So that'll be coming up. Thank you for joining us for Pride Month. We had a lot of fun
I had a
talking about
great time
these.
doing this
Yeah,
month.
talking about. I guess we'll have to switch it up next year. We'll have to.
We'll have to do. They'll know you well enough by now that we're gonna have to do Brokeback Mountain.
And we might
Yeah.
have to do that one like for my birthday or something. That
We can do that. We
I
can.
don't know.
We can make that happen.
That movie riles me up.
As it should.
But but yeah, thank you for joining us for Pride Month, and thank you so much for 10,000
Listening. Oh my
downloads.
God.
Oh my God, you guys are
If you
so
told
amazing.
If you told me like 4 months ago and we had like about 100 listeners that we'd have 10,000 downloads by now, I'd
Crazy.
say you're fucking lying.
Right, I literally was like, this is just gonna be like a silly thing we do in my
Yeah.
basement to keep me
Yeah.
entertained.
We're just gonna like force our friends to listen to it, and that was it.
Yeah, right.
And-
I would like physically take people's phones and download
Uh-huh.
it because I'm like, you don't have to listen, but we need the numbers, and now I don't even have to bully people anymore.
yeah, you listen to us willingly.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
But you guys have all been so great. We've gotten
Yeah, thank
nothing
you so
but
much.
positivity and like love from you guys. Every DM just
Yeah.
like really lights up my day.
It genuinely means the world because this is my favorite thing that I do, and I think you could probably say the
Oh,
same.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And I never thought that it would actually be a thing that people
Yeah.
like listen to and enjoy.
We were
So-
just goofing around, and I was like, I watch movies while I'm drunk, and we're like, we should put this online.
But yeah, it's so cool. We can't thank you enough. And honestly, I hope that we pop more champagne soon for some other milestone.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep it coming. And
Thank you so
all of your
much.
support means the world to us on TikTok at The Swamp Podcast, on Instagram and Twitter at The Swamp Pod, on our website, buy our merch, DMS, everything.
I'm begging for some emails. We're overdue for a couple of emails.
Yeah, email us what the fuck you think Harge is, and I'll put your name in 3 times for the drawing this
Yeah,
month.
and
So,
lastly, happy Pride.
yeah, happy Pride.